It's early February 2022 and it's almost time to start seeds, and I'm so excited because it has felt like forever since I've gotten to garden. So I want to figure out what seeds I'm going to start, and just in general, like what my vegetable and flower gardening plans are for this year. So let's start with some of the stuff I need to start under grow lights here in the next couple weeks. Peppers for sure. So I still have cayenne seeds. I have jalapeno seeds. I also have my potted jalapeno plants that I started last year, and I have those under grow lights currently. That's an experiment to see if I can overwinter them and if they will indeed survive. So that's an ongoing experiment. This stuff is all random in this bag, but they're all things that need to be started early. So I have stevia. That's a new one for me. Probably will do this in a pot so I can keep it contained. I do use stevia a lot in cooking for sweetening, so that'll be fun to grow. I have artichoke. Never grown that one before. I don't even know if I like artichoke, but it's such an interesting plant. Fennel, haven't grown that one either. That would be like your early spring plant. You want that one to bulb up earlier when it's cool. I've got my onions. These are the same onions from last year, a yellow Spanish variety and a red Creole variety, which is sweeter and doesn't store quite as long. I have eggplant, which I'm still gonna grow because I think it's a very cool plant. But because of my dietary changes, I may not be able to eat these. If histamines or FODMAPs are an issue for me. So I'm still figuring that out, but still want to grow them just for fun. Tomatoes are kind of the same deal, where not sure where they fit in with my diet right now, but they're so much fun. I'm going to grow fewer tomatoes than I did last year, and probably in a different spot where it doesn't take up as much space. But still, I've got these mortgage lifters. I've got a couple more varieties, like the little yellow pear tomatoes. This Brandywine, that was my favorite. They're really big and purple, juicy. Red grape, those are fine, average. Cherokee purple, oh, I take it back. That one was my favorite. They're really big, juicy ones. Oh, and here's another pepper, habanero. Didn't actually get to grow habanero last year, so I would like to try that one. Then I have pink celery seeds. Haven't grown celery before. I tried it and it didn't work out. Those are kind of hard to grow apparently. Valerian. This is another herb that I'll probably keep in a pot because, in fact, I wrote it on here. Keep in pot to prevent invasion. I guess it's invasive. You have to be careful about it spreading, kind of like mint. But this herb helps you go to sleep, so that's kind of cool, useful. And then I'm gonna move on to this big bag of spring plantings. So these are not necessarily things I need to start under grow lights here soon, but I might start some of them a little bit later, like in March, or direct sow them outside in the early spring. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Golden beets, and I know I have another beet variety in here as well. Tall top early wonder. I've got red and golden beets. These did not grow well for me last year, but I enjoy beets, so I'd like to try again. I think it was a soil issue, not enough nutrients to help them bulb up. So we'll try again. I have all of these daikon radish pods that I found at a flea market place, and tested them last season in the fall. They did grow, and they make these really big white roots, radishes, spicy and good. I don't use a lot of radishes, so I'm not gonna go very like intense on the radishes, but still, they're just so much fun to grow. I've got arugula. I may trade this variety for a different variety because it doesn't matter how cool it was, it just kept bolting. Seems like I could not keep it from bolting. So if I could find a variety that does better in slightly warmer climate, that would be ideal. Let's see, I still have a lot of my lettuce mix here. It's just a nice mesclun mix. Anise seed. I believe that was from like a spice, like in the spice section of the grocery store. It was just left over from one of those containers. So I don't even know if these will grow, but it's worth a shot. I have spinach. This did not grow that well last year either, and I have heard that it's hard to grow spinach from seed. Like the germination is just a little funky. So Ford Hook chard. I don't have many of those seeds left. I love chard, so I want to go much more intense on the chard this year. Matt really liked it too. These tatsoi greens are great. Hold on. I feel like I had another chard variety in here. Yeah, the rainbow chard is a good one. Still, I may need more seeds. We're running a bit low on that. I have my kale mix. I really like the mix because just all the varieties of kale are so unique and interesting looking. I especially like the dino kale. I think if I were to intentionally buy more kale seeds in the future, I would go for the dino kale. Just like them the most. Kohlrabi, I don't care for the bulbs. And again, I had trouble growing the bulb, probably because of soil. But the leaves are very useful in cooking, kind of like cabbage leaves. They're very similar. So good for stir fries and freezing. Carrots, this is a Danvers carrot, very basic. Haven't had good luck with carrots. They're a tough one. Going to try again. Make sure my soil is right, make sure the spacing's right, moisture, etc. Leeks. Didn't grow well last year, but I want to try again because I love leeks. And I'm using them a lot in my cooking right now since because of dietary changes, like the low FODMAP diet, I've taken out onions currently and garlic. So the leek is a good substitute. This carrot variety is Pusa rudera. Apparently an Indian variety, so we'll give that another shot. Oh, more carrots. Scarlet Nancy's carrot. I've got enough carrot seeds. Oh, okay. This purple top rutabaga. I wrote plant in July there, so I'm not sure why it's in the spring bag. Anyway. Endive. It's a great little addition to salads. A little bit spicy, kind of in between arugula and lettuce. Then I've got bok choy, baby choy. Might need more of those. I use that a lot. Then I've got Southern Giant curled mustard, which, you know, I don't eat much of these. Seeds are spilling out, oh dear. I don't eat many of those, so probably won't plant much, or I'll just use it as a cover crop. I used these turnip seeds as a cover crop in one of my beds, and that works great. You know, they grow super easy, and even if the turnips don't bulb up, which they didn't, you still get lots of greens off of them and they freeze well. And then I've got kale, so much, Siberian improved kale. Okay, that covers that bag. Let's move on. Before we get to the summer vegetables, I'm gonna go for the herbs and the flowers and the fruit bag. Okay. There's a lot in here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Craspedia drumstick flower. Never grown these. They look so pretty though. I can't wait for that. Echinacea. My dwarf cosmos. These were lavender. So beautiful. Got Chinese forget-me-nots. Snapdragons. Alyssum, which you guys grows through the heat and the cold. This stuff does not die. It is great. Very low to the ground too. Great ground cover. Dill. Sage. Just running through them because there's so many. Lemon balm. I'm sorry, lemongrass. Here's lemon balm. This spreads really bad, so beware. Basil. This is the Italian basil. Thyme. This also has survived through ice, snow. Amazing stuff. Beautiful ground cover. Okay, I've got some varieties of amaranth, and I will talk about that later. Yeah, I'll just talk about that later. So, moving on. Parsley. This is one variety called Evergreen. Chamomile, so pretty. Love those sweet little flowers. Oregano. Same deal, this survives through the snow. This will be a new one for me. Looking forward to it. It's called Tulsi Basil, or Holy Basil. Apparently it's great for pollinators and makes great tea, and it's kind of like a health food craze these days. Shiso. That will be a new one for me. Shiso. I believe that's a type of basil, or similar to basil. Watermelons, that's the moon and stars. Cilantro, of course. Another kind of parsley, that's the flat leaf Italian kind. Rose campion, I have this growing naturally on the property, and I just saved seeds from that. Really hardy, interesting plant. Okay, I've got daisies, got cosmos, different kinds, more calendula, coleus, that'll go in my shade garden. Johnny jump ups, another shade garden plant. Let's see, black-eyed Susans, I saved those. Marigolds, these are the short kind of orangey ones. Tall yellow marigolds. Tall orange marigolds. Borage, very cool plant. Little blue star-shaped flowers with a furry stem. White daisies. Lavender. My grandma gave me these. She saved them from a cantaloupe she loved. Candy Kiss. Oh, more cosmos. A different kind. Oh, I have so many flowers. Oh my goodness. I have little packets of different things here. Oscar milkweed, roselle, that's kind of like okra. Prairie cornflower, Mexican hats, evening primrose, mullein. People love to grow this for herbal medicine. American daisies, beautiful. Orange zinnias, I saved those. Pink zinnias, same deal, saved them. Purple zinnias. Yellow zinnias, and that pretty much does it for the flowers and fruit bag. Moving right along, almost done. I just have one more bag. It's smaller. This is like specifically summer stuff, and I made a huge mess on the floor. Okay. So strictly summer seeds. I've got a collection of beans that I bought from the co-op Just some, I want to plant like way more beans this year and see if I can get a bigger harvest that's more worth the time and effort. These are dwarf hort bush beans, so they'll be shorter, lower to the ground. I also went ahead and got a runner bean, a pink half runner bush bean. And I think that one, even though it's called a bush bean, I feel like it will go up a trellis. I hope so. I wanted at least one that'll go up a trellis. Trying a different kind of corn this year. Incredible corn. Okra. This was so pretty. Red burgundy okra. More amaranth. A few different kinds. Yeah, I don't know what those are going to look like. Big Max pumpkin. Delicata squash. Early sweet sugar pie pumpkin. Green dragon burpless cucumber. Butternut squash. Hale's Best jumbo muskmelon. I have not gotten any of these to actually make a fruit, so I'd like to try that one again. Summer squash. And spineless beauty zucchini. Okay, so those are all the seeds that I'm keeping. Some seeds that I had before I'm trading to try to get other things for those, because you know, after a growing season you discover things that you thought you were going to eat, but then you didn't. And I'm getting rid of those and just trading them for other things. So then we can go over where I'm planting these. This is the important part. In my raised front beds, I would like to grow all of the greens, like salad greens, lettuces, etc., out there in the front, as well as like celery, kohlrabi, for the summer stuff, peppers, squashes, cucumbers, zucchini, fennel, carrots, rutabaga, beets, radishes, cabbages, and okra. Out there in front, not in the raised beds, but like the beds against the house, I would like to grow eggplant, potatoes, roselle, more okra, my herbs, lots of flowers. Then there's a cinder block bed back here along the backyard fence. There I would like to put my tomatoes instead of in the front. I think I can grow those tomatoes against the fence and just do fewer of them in general. In that bed I'll also have my garlic, which has already been planted since November, onions and leeks. All that stuff takes a lot longer to grow, so I just kind of let that cinder block bed do its thing and don't worry about it too much. Now we've added growing spaces along our driveway. When you first pull in off the road, there'll be like two skinny beds on the right and left. Right there I want to grow sweet potatoes so that they'll kind of form a ground cover to where I don't have to weed too much or water very much, and the sweet potatoes can continue to grow till like right before the first frost in the fall, which is great. It's beautiful, keeps the weeds down, and we'll get sweet potatoes hopefully. And then as far as like flowers down there, I'd like to do some catmint and maybe rose campion, because those just thrive without much attention. Then Matt and I are considering renting a tiller and tilling a bunch of the front yard in front of the barn. So it's kind of down the hill towards the barn. And down there, we'd like to plant corn more than we did last year, as well as like cantaloupes and pumpkins, winter squashes, stuff that's going to vine out and take up a lot of space. We can even do like the Twin Sisters planting program, where you do like a circle of corn and then let the vining plants kind of creep around it, and then plant beans that will vine up the corn stalks. So hopefully a lot of beans down there as well. And then maybe amaranth. That may be where I do the amaranth. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Still deciding whether or not to go through with that or not. And then there's just like a couple other little small places for planting, like my shade garden, which is going to be perfect for the Johnny Jump Ups, the coleus, possibly mushrooms. I did that last year. It was fun. Around Big Tree in the driveway, I could do more herbs, mullein, more flowers. And then if we get the trellis from my grandma's house, which she's, you know, she'd like to give us the trellis, then we could grow like grapes or roses on that. So I'd like to get grapes started for sure. Then other things, herbs, ginger, strawberries, etc., we can do in pots, either on the back deck or just scattered around the garden. So that covers most of my plans for growing this season. I will be starting seeds under grow lights here in the next week or two, and then about a month after that, that will be another wave of starting things indoors. And then pretty soon in March or early April, I can start direct sowing things outside, and in May, like first week, second week of May, we can put the summer stuff out. So yay, excited. Hope you enjoyed hearing about all the seeds and plants I'm starting. It's exciting to me, so get ready for the journey, the growing journey this year, 2022. Yay. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.